Lesson 9. Understanding the World Wide Web. Since its inception in 1989, the World Wide Web Consortium is funded by a large number of corporate members. Its purpose is to promote the growth of the World Wide Web by developing technical specifications and reference softwares that will be freely available to everyone. A system of internet servers that support specially formatted documents. The documents are formatted in a markup language called HTML, hypertext markup language, that supports links to other documents as well as graphics, audio and video files. This means you can jump from one document to another simply by clicking on hot spots. Not all internet servers are part of World Wide Web. It is not synonymous with the internet. There are several applications called web browsers that make it easy to access the World Wide Web. The two most popular browsers are Firefox and Microsoft's Internet Explorer. The World Wide Web, or web in short, is a part of the internet. If you imagine the internet to be a big shopping mall, the World Wide Web would be the cluster of shops inside the mall. The web is an important part of the internet, but like a shopping mall, it may have other services like restaurants, ATMs, etc. The internet also offers other services like email and chat rooms. The web allows rich and diverse communication by displaying text, graphics, pictures, animation, sound, and video. To sum up, we can say that the World Wide Web is a collection of electronic documents that are linked together like a spider's web. These documents are stored in computers called servers located around the world. The web has evolved into a global electronic publishing medium and a medium for conducting electronic commerce. Components of World Wide Web. The information on World Wide Web is stored in the form of web pages and websites stored in special computers called web servers that are connected to the internet. Web pages. A web page is an electronic document written in a computer language called hypertext markup language or HTML. Web pages can contain text, graphics, video, animation, and sound, as well as interactive features such as data entry forms. Each web page has a unique address known as a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, which identifies its location on the web. Web pages usually contain hyperlinks to other web pages. Hyperlinks are text and images that refer to the URLs of other web pages. Websites. A website is made up of one or more web pages that relate to a common theme such as a person, business organization, or a subject. The first page of a website is called the home page, which acts like an index indicating the content on the website. From the home page, you can click hyperlinks to access other web pages. Web servers. A web server is a computer that stores the web pages and websites and provides them to the web users on request. It has the necessary hardware and software to understand and respond to the needs of the web users. Web browsers. A web browser is the software that must be loaded on your computer to enable you to access the World Wide Web. When you wish to access a web page or website on the World Wide Web, you make a request through your web browser's window to a web server containing the web page or website. The server sends the data to your computer, which the browser interprets and displays the page in its window. To sum up, we can say that the World Wide Web consists of the following components: your personal computer, a connection to an internet service provider, ISP, servers to host the data, routers and switches to direct the flow of data, web browser software to access the web. How the web works. The web is known as a client-server system. Your computer is the client. The remote computers that store electronic files are the servers. Here's how it works. Web pages are stored on web servers located around the globe. Entering the URL Uniform Resource Locator of a web page in the address bar of your web browser or clicking a hyperlink, you can send a request to the server which hosts the page. The server sends web page to your computer and your web browser displays it on your screen. There are three main ways to move between web pages or websites. Typing the URL of a web page in the address bar of your web browser and then pressing the Enter key. Clicking a text hyperlink. Clicking a hyperlinked graphic image such as a button, a photograph, or a drawing. Understanding web addresses or URLs. You can think of the World Wide Web as a network of electronic files stored in computers all around the world. Uniform Resource Locators or URLs are the addresses used to locate these files. When you type a URL in your browser or click on a hypertext link, the information contained in a URL identifies the location of the requested resource and a request is sent to a remote computer web server to download one or more files. Some examples of URLs are http://www.yahoo.com, the home page of the Yahoo website. news://rec.gardens.roses, a news group about rose gardening. Anatomy of a URL. A URL can be broken into parts. Different parts of a URL carry different meaning. Let us see how to interpret the various parts of a URL. Let us take an example to understand this. http://www.learnskills.com/english/start.html. http://HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This indicates a hypertext document or directory. www. This indicates a page on the World Wide Web. Learnskills.com This is called the domain name. It often tells you the name of a company, organization, university, or institution. The last part of the domain name at the right tells you about the type of organization having this domain name or the country where it is located. www.learnskills.com. Together, this indicates the web server name including the domain name. English. This is a directory or folder on the web server that contains a group of related web pages within the website. Start.html. This is a web page inside the folder. A URL may not always include the name of the web page. Using web URLs. You may enter the URL of a web page by typing it in the address bar of your web browser. Most browsers allow you to store the URLs that you want to use again by adding them to a special list. Microsoft Explorer calls it favorites, while Netscape Navigator calls it bookmarks. Once you add a URL to your list, you can access the web page simply by checking on the name in your list instead of retyping the entire URL. Most of the URLs you will use start with HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This indicates the method by which HTML files are transferred over the web. Here are some other things to know about URLs. A URL usually has no spaces. A URL always uses forward slashes. If you enter a URL incorrectly, your browser will not be able to locate the website or resource you want. When you get an error message or access a wrong website, make sure you typed the URL correctly. You can find the URL behind a hyperlink by placing your cursor over the link. The pointer will turn into the shape of a hand and the URL will appear in your browser's status bar. Identifying a hyperlink. Text hyperlinks generally appear underlined and in a different color from the rest of the text, typically in blue color. When you move your cursor over a text link or over a graphic link, its shape will change from an arrow to that of a hand. When you return to a page with a link you have already visited, the hypertext words will often be in a different color to indicate that you have already viewed the link page or site. But you can certainly view it again. Don't be surprised if the next time you visit a page, it looks different and the information has changed. The web is a dynamic medium to encourage visitors to return to a site. Some web publishers often update the pages. That's what makes browsing the web so exciting. To determine if a graphic or image is hyperlinked, move the mouse pointer over the image. The image is hyperlinked if the pointer turns into the shape of a hand. A URL appears in the status bar at the lower left part of the web browser window. How hyperlinks work. A text or graphic hyperlink hides a URL. Clicking a hyperlink passes the URL to your browser. Clicking different parts of a hyperlinked graphic called an image map takes you to different web pages or different places on the same page. In addition to pointing to web pages, hyperlinks can access media files such as sound or video clips. Let's say you want to visit the National Museum website. You enter the address or URL of the website in your web browser. Your browser requests the web page from the web server that hosts the museum's site. The server sends the data over the internet to your computer. Your web browser interprets the data and displays it on your computer screen. The National Museum's website has hyperlinks to the websites of other museums, such as the Science Museum. When you click on that link, you access the web server having the website of the Science Museum. The server hosting the website of the Science Museum sends the home page of the website that is displayed by your browser in its window. This home page may have the hyperlinks to other pages in the website as to the other websites. Hypertext and hyperlinks hold the web together. It allows electronic files on the web to be linked so that you can jump easily between them. You navigate through pages of information on the web based on what interest you have at a particular moment. This is commonly referred to as surfing or browsing the web. Points for review. The World Wide Web is a collection of electronic documents that are linked together like a spider web. These documents are stored in computers called servers located around the world. A web page is an electronic document written in a computer language called Hypertext Markup Language or HTML. It can contain text, graphics, video, animation, and sound. Each web page has a unique address known as a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, which identifies its location on the web. Web pages usually contain hyperlinks to other web pages. Hyperlinks are text and images that refer to the URLs of other web pages. A web server is a computer that stores the web pages and websites and provides them to the web users on request. It has the necessary hardware and software to understand and respond to the needs of the web users. There are three main ways to move between web pages or websites. Typing the URL of a web page in the address bar of your web browser, clicking a text hyperlink and clicking a hyperlink graphic image such as a button. A URL is made up of different parts that convey some meaning. For example, http:// indicates the method to be used for transfer of document, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. www. indicates the requested resource is on the World Wide Web. A URL usually has more spaces. It always uses forward slashes.